Happy Saturday, everybody. Hope you have been having a good weekend. Every Saturday, what I like to do is go over the deck that won the poll here on YouTube. So every Sunday, I do a meta breaker, which is a list of a couple of mythic decks that people use to climb to mythic with at least a 60% win rate. And then I put up a poll that you guys vote on to select which archetype that you would like to see kind of showcased. And so this week, Orzhov Control won the vote on YouTube. And the question is kind of like, what differentiates this from Azorius Control, right? And we've got more instant speed interaction to just remove our opponent's creature-based threats. It is worse off against the other control decks, right? So it should be better against mono red, which the control space is already good against. But then it's going to be worse against Azorius Control because a lot of our cards then just become dead cards. Now, Shieldred's Edict can still hit their Planeswalkers. Outrageous Robbery still does have a mill plan, but I do think it is going to be worse or harder to get the mill win than through Jace. We've got Not on My Watch, which if you go back on Sunday and you look at what I was talking about, I was a little bit confused about this inclusion over Get Lost. But I think it's kind of a nice budget option, but I think you could replace it with Get Lost. 2 copies of the Temporary Lockdown to help up against Boros Convoke. Phyrexian Arena to kind of outdraw our opponent, and this is one way that we can beat the control matchups. You do want to be careful about whether or not you play out the Phyrexian Arena, though, if you are in a more aggro space, right? The Celestis allows us to get some repeatable life gain as well as filter. The End allows us to remove key pieces if you do come up against, like, the Reanimator deck I've been bumping into far less often, but still nice to have the ability to remove things. So you can target a Planeswalker with this, which is particularly nice against the Azorius Control matchup. If you do remove their Jace, then you're going to win through Robbery. So I think that's largely the plan. The trick is getting it through all of their counter spells where you can actually remove their win conditions. Similarly, we have Deadly Cover-Up, which can be used to remove their win conditions. So it's not like this deck doesn't have a fighting chance against the control matchup. And then Ashiok, Wicked Manipulator, and Restless Fortress is really how this deck actually wins the game, other than just making your opponent concede after you wipe their board over and over and over, because they are running, this list is running 8 sweepers. So we have Deadly Cover-Up, Sunfall, Farewell, and the Temporary Lockdowns. So really good against the creature-based strategies of the format. And then for the lands, we basically just have the Orzhov Fixing, a little bit of life gain from the Scoured, and then the Shattered Sanctums is the slow land, and Shadowy Backstreet for Surveil. I don't think we have any of the fast lands in here, which is good because it's a control match. So with that, I'm going to showcase some of the matches just to give you guys a feel for the deck. And I do want to say really quickly that I don't edit them. I don't cherry pick the ones. I'm not intentionally going to try to make the deck look better. Oh, look at that! I have the matches from the limited yesterday. My bad. So if I win all 4, it doesn't mean the deck is better than if I lose all 4. Just want to say that really quick. That's one of the things that's kind of like it's good to think about, like the reason why streamers might look the way that they do, or the people showcasing might showcase the matches which the deck did particularly well in, right? And I'd rather just give you guys an honest approach and just show you how it goes. I'm going to make mistakes, especially because I haven't piloted this deck very much. I've played it maybe 4 or 5 times before making this video. But I have played a lot of Magic, so hopefully I can give you some insights. Hopefully I don't make too many mistakes, and give you a good feel for the deck. So, enjoy. Alright, opponent is going first. We've got 2 tap lands, but we do have the ability to have an untapped source on 2. Not particularly important for this round, or for this hand. Maybe if we need to march, but this is probably just do 2 tap lands, play the 3rd one, and reset the Temporary Lockdown if we're up against a fast deck. Otherwise, Phyrexian Arena if we're up against a slow deck. And it looks like we're up against a slow deck. Okay, so Azorius Control could be a tricky match. if they just hold, do the hold up mana for the counterspell, getting the counterspell on Phyrexian Arena is not great. Restless Fortress is going to be a useful tool against this. Oh, Deep Cavern Bat. Okay. Well, this is weird. I guess we kill the bat either way with Temporary Lockdown or the March of the Wretched Sorrow, so I don't think we need 2-for-1 ourselves to get rid of the bat. And so this may be more of an Esper mid-range list than Azorius Control. Could be Esper Control, but I don't think Esper Control usually runs the Deep Cavern Bats. So I'm expecting more of like a Gix Esper mid-range kind of situation. Let's see, if I was them... It's tempting to take the Phyrexian Arena, because then I have to use the March on them. I think I'm going to go for the Phyrexian Arena, though. The issue with being is if they did that, then I could just march it back, right? We're eventually going to kill the Deep Cavern Bat, and I don't think them getting life matters. And I think I'd rather start this. Now, it is a way that I can eventually lose if we are up against a control matchup. And if they slam like Gix, or they start doing their man lands and start attacking each turn, it could be bad. So I could end the Deep Cavern Bat and just get rid of the bats. That feels less good. Outrageous Robbery. Okay, so they have 4 mana pass here. Probably whatever I play gets counterspelled. I guess maybe let's try to get back the Celestus and go with March, and then we can hold up Not on My Watch. I guess I don't need to do this during my turn. I could do it during their turn, and then if they do have counter spells, they're using mana on their turn, which makes it more likely that I can get a card down on their turn. Yeah, okay, so they just did a 4 mana pass. Dinnick, okay, so it is going to be Esper Control. Playing Dinnick, even though they know I have the Temporary Lockdown, makes me think that they definitely have a counterspell. And if I was going to do the Temporary Lockdown anyway, I could just let the bat not get killed here, because then it goes underneath the Temporary Lockdown. But I kind of like the idea of doing Celestus here, and then we can do Not on My Watch on the Dinnick. Or the Cut Down, okay. Really wish I had hit a land there. Now, with as much draw go as there's been, I kind of want to do the Celestus, and then if they do counterspell this, then we can still cut down the Dinnick. Yeah, so there's the No More Lies. It's fine, I'll just do the cut down. Now, they can bring back Dinnick, so maybe I was supposed to exile Dinnick with the End or Temporary Lockdown. So I do have to kill it twice now. So maybe I was supposed to do Not on My Watch. Oh my god. So this list is running 26 lands. Maybe it should be 27, but that's a lot. I think we just go cut down and say your go. We need to find Ashiok and more lands. Okay, Rafine. Now, Notably, I have made my temporary lockdown kind of weak by the way that I've played this out with the cutdowns and such. I guess we'll see if they have more counter spells. Oh, good. Both tap lands. So, that's unfortunate because I need the ward. So I guess we can do not on my watch and pay the ward. We will have to discard, though. Probably just discard the land. Although I need to continue to make land drops. Like we should have. We have a high land count, and we're drawing 2 a turn. So, temporary lockdown's a tempting one to discard because, like I said, the way I piloted this kind of made it useless. Oh, and that was, oops, instead of the one that gave me life, I should have played the one that surveilled so that I could get better selection there. That's alright, so we'll go here and try to exile it. It's possible they have a counterspell, but we have so many wraths, it should be okay. Well, eventually they are going to attack us with the manlands. Alright. So we've got a really big outrageous robbery that we can do now. I think I can do this. It doesn't say non-land, right? So I think I can get rid of the Restless Anchorage, which I think I want to get rid of the manlands. Either way, in classic control fashion, it's a lot of draw-go. Okay. So, will they protect it? Oh, they're gonna do a cut down on their own thing to prevent it from getting exiled from the deck? Sure. I think I'm going to get rid of the temporary lockdown at this point. Okay, so we've got 16 life. We do kind of, like, we can always do the Restless Fortress to start offsetting the Phyrexian Arena, if we need to. And we can still, like, I could do the Shieldred's Edict, but I think because of them shooting their, cut down on their own Restless Anchorage, what I'd really like to do here is get the end to land on the Restless Anchorage this turn. And we have 19 turns on our deck, so we're not at risk of milling out. We're more likely to die from damage. Alright, here we go again. So we've got 2 Go for the Throats and a Takanuma. Virtue of Loyalty list and Wedding Announcement. Okay, so that is a problem. Wedding Announcement is an issue. Need to close the game out before they find those. Yeah, just kind of your classic standard list. Sweepers, though. We've got Shieldred's Edict for if they do find Wandering Emperor. Restless Fortress is dead as soon as we can't really go that direction, so we can't win there. But we can... Ooh, we can win through Ashiok, because Ashiok doesn't get hit by Go for the Throat. And they can Takanuma to bring back a Deep Cavern Bat. I'm not too worried about that. No, I could uptick this instead. It depends on if we're going to need to do a board wipe next turn. I don't think we will. So I'm just going to create the 2. Now, and we can somewhat protect this from the, you know, if they do play a creature, we can shield its edict. Sorry. March of Wretched Sorrow for 1 if they tuck Anuma back at the bat. Okay. Oh, Rafine. Alright, they're done. Crushed their hopes and dreams. Okay. Demolition Field, we don't have white, which is really going to affect the temporary lockdown on 3. We're like never going to get to play that. But we do have cut down into March of Wretched Sorrow, and then we have the Phyrexian Arena if it's a slower matchup, so I think it's okay. 2-land hands are always a little sketchy to keep when you're missing a color, especially in Control. Ah. Vadmir, okay. I think we just shoot Vadmir. Seems fine. And we found white. That's nice. Okay, so this is the mono-black mid-range deck with the crimes. Alright, so we're just going to plan on doing Not On My Watch here. Issue is that they will get the trigger, draw the card, create the token. I could march for 2 and discard my Phyrexian Arena. Doesn't feel great to do that. So they get the combo, or they get the trigger, which is the problem here. So they get a draw card and create a 1/1 lifelinker. Which is why Preacher is nice. Oh, good, they have another Preacher. So we're just going to Celestis here, plan to hit the Sunfall next turn. They again get more triggers off of the Preacher, but I don't think it's worth 2-for-1ing ourselves. Now the question is whether or not they continue to develop the board or just keep it with Preacher. And just keeping it with Preacher is the right move, because then what that forces me to do is answer the board. You always want to draw the card and then make the decision. And I think we'll just get rid of the land. And I do think I'll just Sunfall here. The point of this deck is just to draw into additional answers, so I think I'm okay using this one for 1. I guess we could wait 1 more turn, and I could do the Phyrexian Arena. We could try to answer the board, because if they just continue to not play anything that's good for us, could go either way here, really. So I've got to get through 6 more cards. I think actually, well, so see, if I take 4, I go to 14. 13 with the Phyrexian Arena is a little bit sketchy, but we can make some of the life back with March. I could also just March of Wretched Sorrow the 2/4. A lot of different ways to go about here. And maybe I wanted to wait until this traded with another Preacher. Oh my god, they got 3 Preachers. Okay. Right, well, we have enough swamps to be able to do the Phyrexian Arena. If Auto Tapper doesn't destroy you. I think we just March of Wretched Sorrow here for 4. So we have a total of 6 mana. This is probably dead. So I think leaving that back is fine. We just try to answer everything one for one. Do it before they get the attack trigger. Oh my god, is that a full playset of creatures? Creature.deck over here. Alright, well, I'd like to eventually get the Phyrexian Arena, because then that really helps me with the outdrawing them, but I guess I'll just keep answering one for one here. They could play into like a Shieldred next turn. That could be a problem. Wait, did I do X equals 4? Distracted. Because if they play a Shieldred, the problem is my Phyrexian Arena starts hitting me for a ton, right? So they could just be trying to get... Or Gisa. Okay, so now we need to find a board wipe. So we can make it day. I think I like that more than making the 3/3. Cut down, probably not that great. Temporary lockdown can at least reset all of the tokens that Gisa's gonna make. Alright, take 8 from the Bloodletter. It's not great. So board is pay 2 life. I have 7 lands. See, this is what I mean. Like, the lands feel a little bit shy to me. I usually like 27 or 28 in control. Because we need a total of 7 mana to do this. Let's see. I do this for 4. It's 5. So I can, and it'll just be completely tapped out, and then I just have to not die from the Bloodletter. All right. So we do this for 4. Pay the ward. So I guess I lose. Yeah, the Aclazotz is a little scary. Because like if they Rush of Dread, I'm just dead. 8 damage. Okay, we hit the Deadly Cover-Up. I think I get rid of the Bloodletters, or do I get rid of the Gisa? Hold on, maybe there's no more of those. Shieldred? Okay. Yeah, it would have been better to do Gisa. Okay, that was a mistake. Should have done Gisa. They do have Shieldred, which is scary. Okay, so now they've got cut downs. We've got a big creature that we're worried about. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature or planeswalker. Okay, so Shieldred. Hopefully they play that before I play the Ashiok. I think I'm going to start attacking here. Okay. Okay, so they can exile this to return to the battlefield. For each opponent, destroy up to one target creature or planeswalker that player controls. Each opponent discards 3 cards, then mills 3 cards. Put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield. Exile the True Scriptures. So we really need to be able to kill that this turn. And we can't. I could try to Ashiok into Sheoldred's Edict or something. It might be my best bet. Or I could try to Outrageous Robbery them and get an answer from them. That seems thin. So I think I'm going to go Ashiok, tap the colorless. Damn it. Alright, also remember, the one that you click is the one that gets exiled. So like if you don't want the planes, click the planes, right? Which is backwards to a lot of the other decks. Maybe it was Blast Zone was actually right there. Okay, so I think Sheoldred's going to be a problem. And they can attack Ashiok first. I could have down-ticked this and then exiled with Outrageous Robbery, which would have been able to block. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! They just left? They have the... Oh, they were worried that it was going to die? Because you can only do that as a sorcery. Wait, this wins, right? You flip this up, you destroy Ashiok. Don't need to attack here. You're gonna bring back Gisa and a bunch of Preachers and stuff? Like, I get it's not necessarily just a win, because I can still hit a board wipe. But that seemed like an early concession. Alright, so we've got Shattered Sanctum into Sheoldred's Edict, cut down. Alright, looks good. Definitely want to keep hitting our land drops. I could lead out with the swamp to keep the cut down open. This looks like maybe we're up against Azorius Control. I was kind of hoping we would get one control mirror, because it is a difficult one to pilot. Missing land 3 puts them quite a bit ahead here. Another reason to be on a higher count of lands. Let's see what what in the list would I take out for a land? Maybe a cut down. Boo, that was what we were supposed to be doing. Alright, well, we lose. Most likely. We're definitely playing from behind. Well, maybe they'll mill themselves, right? Maybe we can get them with a robbery. Come on, discard Jace. Oh my god, double Faithful Mending? Eep! I don't think we need 2 Celestas. I guess if the first one gets countered, it can be pretty nice to have a second one, but like this game is pretty over. Maybe we can make it up with Phyrexian Arena. Hey, land 3! Counterspell my Celestas. Yep, alright. So this is largely dead. It's like it does. I guess these do hit Planeswalkers. Temporary Lockdown's probably the worst card in her hand. Although they can create tokens with Wandering Emperor. Still missing land drops. Now, if I remember correctly, this is not a good matchup for the deck in the first place, even if we had been hitting the lands, just because we have so many cards that are going to be dead cards in our hand. Now, if they don't have a counterspell, there's hope. If we hit a land and we're able to exile Jace, that would be huge. Dang it. They didn't leave Jace alive, and we didn't hit the land anyway. But anyway, this is why like Control can get away with running 28 lands, especially if you're anticipating other matchups with Control, because it largely comes down to like who has more lands. And we have 4 and they have 7, 8 if you count the Celestas. I wonder if they should be cycling it between day and night here. Alright, so we're at 30. So if they hit us with another Jace, we're at 15. That would be kind of a sign that they were going to just mill us out. Because if they go Jace, Jace, we're dead. Or Mindbreaker. Sometimes when you see the Faithful Mendings, they will be running the Mindbreakers. Downside with Shieldred's Edict is like we can make them sack Jace, but it doesn't matter if they do down tick 5, right?
I will shatter your
So now we're down to 15 cards. So if they Jace here, it's GG. Oh, Sunset Revelry. Okay. Just cycling it for a card. Okay, so what can I hit? If I could hit into like our Black Sweeper. Black Sweeper would have been nice. I don't really want to thin the deck, because then I'm just, you know, lowering my chances of drawing land, and we want to keep hitting lands. But what I was thinking is the Black Sweeper would let me collect evidence and remove the Jace. They're just trying to find one more Jace. And then we would need to be able to hit them for an Outrageous Robbery. Okay, so there's the Outrageous Robbery. I think it's better than discarding, right? Let's just zap this little guy. All right. We get a surprise mill victory on them. I mean, we got, okay, there's the Mindbreaker. So they are running the Mindbreaker list. This one is really good to bring in if you're playing against Azorius Control. If you're playing against a lot of other mirror matches, this is kind of the thing that puts you over the edge as far as milling them. If it comes down to like who's got the most Jaces. If you go back months ago when Azorius Control was like the #1 deck in the meta, I recommended to somebody in the community long ago about the Mind Breakers, and whenever you start seeing more Azorius Control come back, then it's always more of an interesting list. Now, I could have Sheoldred's Edict there, but I'm so far out of this game that I just don't... Like, it doesn't really change much to have them mill, like, 2 cards or whatever. So, down to 5. Can I mill them if I get 2 robberies? We're hitting for 5. I don't think so. I think we're in trouble. Maybe I should have Sheoldred's Edict instead of rambling to the... Alright. So, again, so this is going to do, like, what, 2? I guess I'll just... I mean, I get it's better than just letting it happen, right? Good Sheoldred's Edict here. Upside is that if we did the Sheoldred's Edict, they wouldn't have been able to do the No More Lies. But maybe I gave up on this game too soon. Maybe there was actually a winning line. There's just so many dead cards in this matchup, though. I guess I could have farewelled to remove the graveyard last turn. Oh, but then they just counterspell it anyway. So... they probably have a counterspell, but I'm gonna go... We're gonna get to land 7. Come on! GG. Alright, well, like I said, that one's a difficult matchup, and we did not get very lucky with the lands. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. I hope that gives you a good idea of what the deck is doing. Kind of the problems of playing up against Azorius Control with how many dead cards there are, but otherwise you're just destroying all of the creature-based strategies and making people want to quit Magic in classic Control fashion. So, tomorrow I'll be talking about my favorite meta breakers, all of the decks that have been the early runners up into Mythic, and yeah, I've got to wrap things up a little bit earlier than I usually do. Usually I play like 1 or 2 more games, but I've got to get ready for my cash open for Modern Horizons 3, which is happening in an hour and 30 minutes from when I'm recording this. So take care, everybody. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And then on Monday, I'll be talking about the best of 1, best of 3 meta, as I always do. And so take care. Welcome to my community if you're new here, and I'll see you later.